Hindi po pwedeng sabihin hindi ako ang direktang gumawa. This is a clear attempt to shift one's responsibility. So stated by our colleague in his letter. Sa batas at prinsipyo ng pamamahala, may tinatawag na command responsibility. Hindi maaaring maghugas ng kamay ang operator ng taxi or jeepney kapag nakasagasa ng kanyang driver. The truth is, it is a corrupted excerpt taken from the official live broadcast of the Commission on Appointments, presented in a way that selectively edited or rearranged my words for the purpose of distorting the meaning and misleading the people. Mr. President, his explanations do not address the central issue. The concern is not the source of the footage, but the manner in which it was spliced and deceptively presented. Appearances, as we know, can be engineered. The compilation was not an honest representation of the proceedings. What was shown was not the substance of the discussion, but manufactured impression. One that rearranged fragments of my remarks to create a meaning I neither intended nor expressed. Mr. President, kung ang simpleng pahayag nga ay nabibigyan ng iba't ibang interpretasyon, depende kung sino ang nakakarinig. Paano pa kaya ang pinagsama-sama at pinagtagpi-tagping piraso ng salaysay? Hindi ba't mas maraming malilihis sa tunay na konteksto at mensahe na nais maiparating? I rise today on a matter of personal and collective privilege to clarify and stand for the truth amidst the barrage of twisted narratives thrown upon me these days. My position has always been clear. We will protect what is rightfully ours and firmly uphold our rights under international law. Any statement alleging that I said, suggested, or implied that we should give up the Calayan Island Group is completely false. I have never wavered on this principle, Mr. President, and I will not allow misinformation to distort what we all profess to die for. Cheap fakes. These are deceptively altered contents created through basic editing techniques. May appear simple, yet their consequences are profound. With nothing more than selective splicing, omission, or rearrangement, narratives can be distorted, reputations can be damaged, and truth itself can be compromised. It is within this context that I seek to clarify the record and confront the dangers posed by deliberate misrepresentation. Mr. President, being one of the neophyte senators in this august chamber, I brought not only my passion to serve our countrymen, but also my hard-earned integrity as a public servant. I know for a fact that government officials should not be onion-skinned. At tunay naman pong isinabuhay ko ng maging matibay ang loob ko. Dahil sa ilang dekada ko nang nasa serbisyo, talaga naman pong samut-saring batikos at pangungutya na rin ang aking natanggap. Mr. President, criticisms per se are understandable, but intentional distortion of statements is clearly unacceptable. On 4 February 2026, the Commission on Appointments held a hearing for the confirmation of the ad interim appointments of the members of the Armed Forces of the Philippines. During the said confirmation hearing, I underscored that the Philippine Exclusive Economic Zone, EEZ, and the West Philippine Sea, WPS, are legally distinct from each other, emphasizing that the 2016 arbitral award clarified only the country's EEZ and continental self-entitlements and did not rule on the issue of WPS. I further explained that certain Philippine-occupied features in the KIG lie beyond the EEZ. And because their enclave territorial seas are included in the West Philippine Sea as defined by RA 12064, their inclusion in the plotting of the WPS map could be an insurmountable task. Within this context, I gave a hypothetical way out about giving up the KIG, which was only meant to illustrate the legal obstacles and physical difficulty of delineating the West Philippine Sea that will encompass waters of the KIG in the high seas, highlighting the dilemma rather than advocating abandonment. Then, on 5 February 2026, one of our colleagues in this chamber caused the publication through his official social media account of a spliced and manipulated compilation of statements I have made during the aforesaid Commission on Appointments hearing. The said post presented a video compilation at sabay-sabay po nating panoorin ito. Patayan natin dito for something that is even in our EC. Ang gawin natin po para madali, i-swap natin yung KIG. Nag-govern pa rin international law. So atin yung Korean Island Group.
We call now on Captain Jess B. Pilar, Philippine Navy, the most senior among the officers now under consideration.
Meron po tayong mga issues na occupied natin ngayon. Ito yung Kalayaan Island Group. Ngunit, they are way beyond. Wala sa limit ng ating exclusive economic zone.
Being a member of the armed forces, our seas are rights in our future, and we just stick to what is legally ours, what is stated in our law, sir. I'd like to congratulate you for responding very well to the questions of the Honorable Marcoleta.
At first glance, Mr. President, the video may appear to convey precisely the narrative it was designed to suggest. However, that impression is fundamentally misleading. Recognizing the implications of such a portrayal, I formally wrote to said colleague and sought clarification as to the purpose and intent of publishing a spliced video which seemed to have deliberately tweaked the import of my statements and portrayed in a manner as though I was advocating the surrender of a portion of our territory. Ayan po yung aking sulat, Mr. President, a one-page letter. Ayan naman po yung 3 pahina na sagot sa akin, Mr. President. In his reply letter, he characterized my concerns in this manner, and I quote, "Allegations that the video excerpt was deliberately crafted to mislead or that it was altered to deceive are serious in nature and demand substantiation. None has been provided." I strongly disagree, Mr. President. The substantiation lies in the record itself. The official transcript and the unedited proceedings plainly demonstrate how my statements were taken out of context and presented in a manner that materially altered their meaning. Ilalantad ko po ito maya-maya ng konti, Mr. President. He further stated, and I quote, "For your information, I do not exercise editorial control nor oversee the day-to-day uploading of content on the said page, which is maintained by my office as part of our regular public information efforts with materials drawn from official and publicly verifiable proceedings." Again, I strongly disagree, Mr. President. Even if he does not exercise direct editorial control, responsibility still lies with his office for ensuring that the materials they publish accurately reflect the context and intent of the proceedings. Hindi po pwedeng sabihin hindi ako ang direktang gumawa. This is a clear attempt to shift one's responsibility. So stated by our colleague in his letter. Sa batas at prinsipyo ng pamamahala, may tinatawag na command responsibility. Hindi maaaring maghugas ng kamay ang operator ng taxi or jeepney kapag nakasagasa ng kanyang driver, sa ilalim ng batas at ng prinsipyo ng vicarious liability. ang operator pa rin ang nananagot dahil siya ang nagmamay-ari ng prangkisa at namamahala ng mga sasakyan. Ganon din ang may-ari ng karinderya. Kapag may food poison, dahil sa pagkaing inihain, hindi niya maaaring ituro ang kusinera at sabihing siya ang nagluto. Sa mata ng batas, ang may-ari ng karinderya ang may pananagutan sa kalidad at kaligtasan ng pagkain. Sa paghahalin tulad po, Mr. President, sa kaso ng driver at kusinera, kahit ang lahat ay nangyari nang hindi sinasadya, nananagot pa rin ang may-ari. Sa kaso ng splice video, na maliwanag namang sinadya, lalong dapat managot ang may-ari, lalo pa kung siya ay talaga namang sangkot sa paggawa nito. Lastly, said colleague maintained that the video merely reflects what was posted in the Commission's official broadcast, and I quote, "Be that as it may, an objective viewing of the subject video would show that it is merely an excerpt from the official live broadcast of the Commission on Appointments hearing." Again, I strongly disagree, Mr. President. The truth is, it is a corrupted excerpt taken from the official live broadcast of the Commission on Appointments, presented in a way that selectively edited or rearranged my words for the purpose of distorting the meaning and misleading the people. Mr. President, his explanations do not address the central issue. The concern is not the source of the footage, but the manner in which it was spliced and deceptively presented. Appearances, as we know, can be engineered. The compilation was not an honest representation of the proceedings. What was shown was not the substance of the discussion, but manufactured impression. One that rearranged fragments of my remarks to create a meaning I neither intended nor expressed. Mr. President, kung ang simpleng pahayag nga ay nabibigyan ng iba't ibang interpretasyon, depende kung sino ang nakakarinig. Paano pa kaya ang pinagsama-sama at pinagtagpi-tagping piraso ng salaysay? Hindi ba't mas maraming malilihis sa tunay na konteksto at mensahe na nais maiparating? These statements were maliciously lifted, compiled, and used without consideration of its context. The complete transcript of the hearing would clearly show that there was no intent to surrender our rightful territory. As I previously said, it was only to illustrate the Herculean task of delimiting the West Philippine Sea in relation to the enclave territorial seas of each of the occupied and claimed features in the Kalayaan Island Group, most of which lie in the high seas. Mr. President, in the interest of transparency and fairness, I will be presenting the original video excerpts from which the circulated clips were taken, alongside the edited compilation that was posted on our colleagues' official page, and the pages of the transcript where it was lifted from. By laying them side by side, we and the public will clearly see how particular statements were extracted from different portions of the hearing and rearranged in sequence to construct a narrative that did not exist in the actual exchange. The comparison will demonstrate in concrete terms how selective cutting and reordering of remarks can transform a hypothetical illustration into what falsely appears to be a categorical position. In doing so, I seek clarity so that the record may speak for itself, complete and unaltered. Papatayan natin dito for something that is not even within our EEC. Ang gawin natin po para madali, i-give up natin yung KIG. Ano ba talaga ipagpapatayan natin dito? We will offer our lives, including the lives of our children, and to die for it, for something that is not even within our EEC. Ang gawin natin po para madali, i-give up natin yung KIG. Then, mako-coordinate na natin lahat. But until and unless nandun yung KIG, wala nga po nasa labas po ng ating exclusive economic zone. Paano po malalagay sa entire West Philippine Sea? Mr. Chair, kaya po yun ang dahilan, hindi po tayo makagawa ng mapa para sana ma-submit na natin. And in our lifetime, we will able to see doon sa entire stretch ng South China Sea, lalabas doon ang West Philippine Sea. Ang video na nasa kaliwa, Mr. President, ay nagmula sa Facebook page ng ating colleague. Yung nasa kanan po ay ang original na video. Mapapansin po ninyo, ang pinagkunan po niya, pinagsama-samang salita upang mabuo ang isang pangungusap. Katulad po ang nakalagay sa yan pong nakikita ninyo. Yung kulay pink po sa baba, nakalagay, Senator Marcoleta, ano ba talaga ang pinagpapatayan natin dito for something that is not even within our EEC? Ang gawin po natin para madali, i-give up natin yung KIG. Tingnan po ninyo yung mga phrases, mga parirala, mga salita na nakukulayan ng yelo. Doon po niya kinuha lahat yun at pinagdugtong-dugtong. Yung una pong nasa yellow ay page 22, line 9. Yung CCA live timestamp po ay 10649 to 10652. Yung pangalawa pong nasa yellow at yung pangatlo page 22, lines 10 to 12. CA live timestamp 10658, 10704. Diyan po ninyo makikita na pinagdugtong-dugtong lang po ang aking sinabi para sa ganon makapagporma ng isang pangungusap na mag-iiba ang kanyang kahulugan. Ang pahayag kong ito, Mr. President, ay matatagpuan sa page 22, line 9 at lines 10 to 12 ng CA transcript of stenographic notes noong ika-4 na Pebrero kung saan tinanong ko sila kung alam na ba natin ang ating coordinates sapagkat ang ating mga kasamaan sa armed forces ay nakikipagpatayan upang proteksyonan o protektahan ang ating teritoryo kahit na wala pa tayong kasiguraduhan sa hangganan nito.
Nag-govern pa rin yung international law. So atin yung Kalayaan Island Group. Nag-govern pa rin yung international law, di ba? This was made formal by the arbitral ruling. Di ba? So atin yung Kalayaan Island Group.
Yung nasa kaliwa po, ito po yung chief fake. Yung nasa kanan, yan po yung original, Mr. President. Dito sa video clip na yan, ay makikita natin na ang ating kasamahan na sinasabi na international law pa rin daw ang nag-govern at sa atin pa rin ang Kalayaan Island Group na tila ba ay sagot niya sa aking naunang pahayag. Hindi po ito ang nangyari. Ayan po ang tunay na pagkakasabi, Mr. President. Yung pong nasa yellow uli, nasa page 28, line 6-7, CA live timestamp 11937 to 11939. Hanggang sa huling dilaw, Mr. President, page 28, line 8, CA live timestamp 11945, 11947. Binuo sa isang salita na nandun po sa pink para lang makakuha ang nag-govern pa rin ang international law, so atin ang Kalayaan Island Group. Ang pahayag niyang ito ay matatagpuan sa page 28, line 6-8, 6-8 ng TSN, kung saan tinanong niya si Captain Pilar kung alam ba niya ang Presidential Decree 1596. Slide po. Meron po tayong mga isla na occupied natin ngayon. Ito yung Kalayaan Island Group. Ngunit, they are way beyond our EEC. Wala doon sa limit ng ating exclusive economic zone.
Being a member of the armed forces, our seas, our rights, and our future. And we just stick to what is legally ours, what is stated in our law, sir.
The department believes that escalation, even in public messaging, should be undertaken only when it advances clear strategic objectives and the national interest. Ano pong strategic objective o national interest ang na-achieve natin sa ginawa ni Commodore Tariela na magpakita ng ganong mga statements at mga caricatures sa uncompromising at nakakahiyang paglalarawan sa kanilang head of state? What did we gain strategically in terms of national interest? Meron po ba?
Your Honor, I cannot answer on that.
Hindi, sa panukat mo lang.
Sir, being a member of the armed forces, we are voicing out the term RCs, our rights and our future, and we just stick to what is being dictated in our what is legally ours and what is stated in our law, sir.
What is legally ours must be defended. Must be protected, and we should fight it out to the last drop of our blood. Sir President, sa mga video clips naman
Meron
na yan.
po tayong mga isla na occupied natin ngayon. Ito yung Kalayaan Island Group. Alam na po ninyo yon. Meron tayong 4 na features in the Kalayaan Island Group. Ito po yung Pag-asa, yung Parola, yung Kota at yung Lankiam. Captain, alam po ninyo yan. Incidentally, Mr. Chairman, itong 4 na features na occupied ng ating bansa, they are way, way beyond our EEC. Wala po sila sakop ng EEC. Alam po ba ninyo yon, Captain?
Sa mga video clips na yan po, Mr. President, yan na po talaga nagkagulo-gulo. Ang mga pahayag kong ito ay matatagpuan sa page 19 at page 20 ng TSN, kung saan aking tinalakay ang Kalayaan Island Group at ang saklaw ng arbitral ruling. Ayan po yung mga salita na nakukulayan ng kulay dilaw na kanilang pinagdugtong-dugtong para magawa po yung isang pangungusap na nandyan po sa pink color. Ayan po, yung page 19, line 58. Nandyan na naman po yung 3 nakakulay na mga pahayag ko at pagkatapos pinagdugtong-dugtong uli para makakuha ng isang salita na nakukulayan sa kulay rosas. Makikita natin kung paano po nila pinaghalo-halo ang mga pahayag, Mr. President. Some words taken from page 22 of the TSN, the others were from page 28 at another from page 19. Hindi lamang po yan, iba-iba rin ang pagkakasunod-sunod ng pahayag kong ito sa page 19 ng TSN. Merong nasa line 25, biglang pumunta sa line 21, tumalon sa lines 7 to 8 at nasa page 20 at muling bumalik sa lines 5 to 8 ng page 19.
Incidentally, Mr. Chairman, itong 4 na features na occupied ng ating bansa, they are way, way beyond our EEC. Wala po sila sakop ng EEC. Meron po tayong mga isla na occupied natin ngayon. Ito yung Kalayaan Island Group. Ngunit, they are way, way beyond our EEC. Wala doon sa limit ng ating exclusive economic zone.
Being a member of the armed forces, RCs, our rights and our future, and we just stick to what is legally ours, what is stated in our law, sir.
Napansin po ba ninyo, Mr. President? Doon sa original, yun po yung bandang kaliwa at saka yung kanan, bandang kanan, nagsingit sila ng isang salita ng ngunit para pagdugtungin po ang isang statement. With the insertion of the word ngunit, what was supposed to be a mere informative statement on the arbitral award suddenly evoked a negative connotation because it was connected to the KID, somehow portraying as if I was asserting that we cannot exercise sovereignty over the features outside the EEZ. It created an unwarranted sense of contradiction or mischaracterization, distorting the legal point I intended to emphasize. Ayan po ang order of events. Mr. President. Do sa version po na cheap fake, ayan po yung 10649 to 10737. At ang timestamp po sa CA's live feed, 11937, 11947, 1017 to 10145, tsaka po yung 57, 51, and 5916. Mr. President, malinaw sa slide na ito kung paanong pinag-iba-iba ang pagkakasunod-sunod ng mga video clips. Nagmula ang mga pahayag sa iba't ibang timestamps kung saan iba't iba rin ang pinupunto ng bawat isa. Bakit pa kailangang paghalu-haluin ang aking mga sinabi at sadyaing magsingit pa ng isang salita sa aking pahayag? Sa mismong pagmamaniobra na ito, malinaw na may layuning baluktutin ang simpleng kahulugan ng aking sinabi. Ang salitang ngunit na kanilang isiningit para dugtungan ang isang pangungusap ay malinaw na matatagpuan sa page 19 ng TSN. Ipinalalabas nilang ito'y tuloy-tuloy kong sinabi, gayong sa opisyal na record ay malinaw na magkakahiwalay ang aking mga pahayag. Ang ganitong pag-edit at hindi simpleng pagkakamali lamang, bagkus isa pong buktot na planadong pagkilos at tuwirang pagpapalit ng konteksto na nagpabago sa kahulugan ng aking mga ipinahayag. If we take into account the entirety of my discussion, Mr. President, the statements clearly express a theoretical choice, if only to illustrate the legal conundrum in connecting the maritime areas of the KIG features and not an advocacy of surrender, abandonment, or renunciation of any part of Philippine territory. But this was not the account in the edited material used as a contraption. Although the statements were indeed made during the hearing, the video he posted on his Facebook account was a spliced and reordered version that deliberately rearranged my remarks to cast me in a negative light. By selectively cutting, fragmenting, and reassembling portions of my statements out of their proper sequence and context, he fabricated a narrative that is intentionally deceptive. Sa mga slides na nakikita po natin, Mr. President, makikita rin natin kung paano umalingaw-ngaw ang epekto ng nasabing splice video sa iba't ibang TV networks, pahayagan sa social media, at sa mga kilalang personalidad sa politika. Mula sa isang inedit at pinagputol-putol na presentasyon, nabuo ang isang naratibong mabilis kumalat. Agad pinaniwalaan ng ilan at walang habas na ibinahagi nang hindi sinuri ang kabuuang konteksto ng aking mga pahayag. At noong 16 ng Pebrero 2026, kagaya po ng nakikita po nyo, muling naglathala ang nasabing colleague sa kanyang official website at sa kanyang Twitter account tungkol sa aking plano na pagsasampa ng ethics complaint na tila ba may pangungutya pa nang sabihin niyang hindi raw siya marunong mag-splice ng video at kung maaari ay turuan pa siya. Ayan po ang nilagay niya. Ang ganitong pahayag na wari pagbibiro ay isa lamang paraan ng pag-iwas, ngunit halata naman na ang paratang ay hindi naitanggi. Ginoong Pangulo, kahit pa marunong akong mag-splice o mag-edit, kailanman ay hindi ko ituturo kung ito ay gagamitin sa kamalian na magdudulot ng kalituhan o kapahamakan sa aking kapwa. Ang sabi nga niya, ang tama ay ipaglaban, ang mali ay labanan. From his own words, his own slogan, his own political battle cry, let us walk the talk, Mr. President. He did not stop at posting the splice and misleading video. He continued to publish and disseminate statements on the same issue, repeatedly insinuating that I intended to surrender a portion of the country's territory, portraying me as a villain and himself the hero. Ang kulit. In his interview with DCBB 594, February 5, 2026, posted on his official YouTube account, he once again talked about the same topic. Ito po ang sinabi niya. Nang narinig ko, sabi ni Senator Marcoleta, na ipamigay na lang natin, hindi ako nakapigil doon. Kailangang liwanagin natin kasi atin yan. At may basihan kung bakit atin yan. Sabi niya sa labas ng EEC, di ko matanggap yan kasi nandoon na may mga Pilipino sa Pag-asa Island. On February 7, 2026, sa nakikita nating social media post, ayan po, Mr. President. The same colleague once again utilized his official Facebook page, website, and other social media accounts and published an article discussing the Kalayaan Island Group, asserting that relinquishing it would be tantamount to surrendering the entire nation. Through this subsequent posting, he reinforced the same insinuation and misleading narrative previously advanced. A narrative anchored on a distorted interpretation of my statements rather than on the true record of the proceedings. This development, Mr. President, naturally raises serious questions. What objective is being served by repeatedly advancing this narrative? Bakit tila ako ang palagi niyang tinatarget? Ano ang tunay na layunin ng patuloy at piling pagtutok laban sa aking mga pahayag at paninindigan? Ano bang dahilan at kinakailangan niyang baluktutin ang aking mga pahayag at ipilit ang isang salaysay na malinaw na taliwas sa aking tunay na paninindigan? Mr. President, truth cannot be distorted by editing, nor can integrity be blemished by manipulation. Every issue needing public discourse should start and end in floor debates in this chamber, not in the cover and comfort of partisan media. When statements are deliberately stripped of context and repackaged to mislead the public, the injury is not merely personal, it is institutional. It corrodes trust, distorts democratic debate, and undermines the very standards of fairness this chamber is duty-bound to uphold. I therefore place on record this demand for clarification, firm in the conviction that reasoned discussion must prevail over misrepresentation. Para sa kalaman ng lahat, falsification of a video recording the deliberate manipulation, alteration, or fabrication of a video output to deceive, misrepresent, or to create false evidence. Yung slide 25, please. Ayan po. Mr. President, these are not trivial matters. Legal repercussions can arise. For when public platforms such as Facebook and YouTube are used to amplify misrepresentations, the consequences extend beyond individual reputations and risk misleading the very people we are sworn to serve. Such acts may constitute violations of Cybercrime Prevention Act of 2012, particularly under provisions of penalizing online libel and the spreading of false information through video forgery and tampering. Lest we forget, the sacred wordings of the PMA Honor Code and Honor System, so ingrained in the hearts of every cadet, are cast in stone. Let me quote this, Mr. President. The Honor Code is our pride as it is our heritage. We will hold its trust long after we have left the gray line. We will be guided by its principles of fearless truth regardless of consequence, a sine qua non in our profession of arms. Our code does not deviate from the universal concept of honor. It demands the truth, nothing else but the truth, both by act and implication. Each cadet becomes a zealous guardian to his earmark of the Corps and will report another or himself for a violation of honor. It is in keeping this priceless legacy from our predecessors that we seek to transmit it unblemished to the unending gray line. Mula sa PMA Code, Ginoong Pangulo, dalawa pa lang napaka-importanting tanong ang dapat masagot ng bawat kadete ng Philippine Military Academy. Una, do I intend to deceive? Pangalawa, do I intend to take undue advantage? If a cadet can answer no to both questions, he is not guilty of any honor violation. Ngunit kung hindi ka naman makakasagot ng hindi sa dalawang tanong na ito, wala kang karapatan upang matawag na marangal. Mr. President, if the Philippine Military Academy requires every cadet to answer 2 questions on the virtue of honor, shouldn't we ask ourselves if we all deserve the honor of serving our people in this chamber? Mr. President, when he spoke last February 21, 2026, during the PMA Alumni Homecoming where he was guest speaker, he declared, and I quote, "If the test of courage and loyalty transpires during times of danger, integrity is tested in positions of power and influence, especially when no one is looking." If it were so, Mr. President, then this is a powerful reminder that those who hold positions of authority must exercise them with fairness and fidelity. Yes, fidelity to the truth. Precisely because we possess influence, we bear a greater responsibility to ensure that we present to the public what we present to the public is complete, accurate, and not deliberately framed to mislead. Integrity, after all, Mr. President, is not proven by rhetoric, but by conduct. Ginoong Pangulo, ang katotohanan ay hindi maaring tabunan ng ingay. At ang paninindigan ay hindi maaring yurakan ng panlilinlang. Uulitin ko po, hindi po ako kailanman nagsulong ng pagsuko ng ating teritoryo. Ako'y naninindigan para sa malinaw, tapat at responsableng pagtalakay ng batas at ng ating pambansang interes. Sa harap ng baluktot na salaysay, ako'y nananatiling matatag sapagkat sa huli, ang katotohanan ay mananaig at ang taong bayan ay may karapatang malaman ang buong katotohanan. Walang dagdag, walang bawas, walang panlilinlang. Maraming salamat po, Mr. President.
Yes, Senator Amy Marcos, you recognized.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. It's simply by way of manifestation as a member of the Committee on Appointments. I was present during the hearing narrated by our colleague, Senator Marcoleta, and I vigorously attest and corroborate to the accuracy and truth of his statement of facts and the consequent misleading, whether carelessly or maliciously, interpretation that followed. Thank you.
Majority Leader.
I move that we refer the privileged speech of the good gentleman to the Committee on Rules, Mr. President.
Any objection? Hearing none. So referred.
I think Senator Irwin. Ready for, anong gusto ko na privilege speech or maybe recognize also our distinguished colleague Senator Irwin Tulfo to avail of the privilege hour.
Senator Erwin Tulfo is recognized.
Mr. President, my dear colleagues, I rise on a matter of personal and collective privilege. This issue is not merely about an unpaid hospital bill. It is about dignity. It is about compassion. And above all, it is about the moral obligation of our institutions, especially those tasked with preserving life, to uphold humanity in the face of vulnerability. This is not just a private burden. It reflects a larger reality faced by many Filipinos today. Last February 21, actress Odette Khan was rushed to the emergency room. At sa mga sumunod po na araw, she underwent several procedures. Ang tanggapan ko po ay nakatanggap ng sulat mula sa pamilya ng 80 taong gulang na si Odette Khan. As of February 24, 2026, her hospital bill has reached 156,756.23 centavos based on the running bill issued by the Credit and Collection Section. We receive a document issued by NKTI that if the account is not updated within the prescribed period, all credit privileges will be immediately suspended except for life support, and it will remain suspended until such is complied with. Other patients have also shared similar concerns after going through the same situation. Serious allegations also have reached our attention involving the Ipil Doctors Hospital in Zamboanga, Sibugay, pointing to troubling practices, particularly in the retention of IV fluids or suero if unable to pay. Even more concerning are claims of inflated charges. Mr. President, my dear colleagues, we're talking about access to care, dignity, and basic compassion. Yes, we understand that hospitals operate within financial constraints. We recognize that institutions must remain fiscally responsible. But there must be a higher standard when it comes to medical institutions. The mandate of public health care is not profit, Mr. President. It is service. We have already passed several landmark laws such as Republic Act number 11223 or the Universal Healthcare Act, Republic Act number 8344 or the Anti-Hospital Deposit Law, Republic Act number 9439 or the Anti-Hospital Detention Law, and many more. But the question remains, pero bakit parang kulang pa rin? Patients are still waiting for care they desperately need. Families are still overwhelmed by confusing hospital procedures. Too many Filipinos still cannot reach doctors, nurses, or life-saving facilities. We must ensure that no Filipino, celebrity or not, affluent or struggling, faces the fear that essential medical treatment cannot be obtained immediately or worse, curtailed at their most vulnerable moment. Our healthcare should not exist only in laws. It must be felt, Mr. President. Today, it is an actress whose name we recognize. Tomorrow, it could be any ordinary Filipino family facing the same ordeal in silence. This is not about special treatment, Mr. President. This is about just treatment for every Filipino, rich or poor. I therefore urge the Department of Health to examine the existing policies regarding billing practices of our hospitals, both private and public, and that our healthcare laws are implemented and observed properly by the stakeholders. In the end, Mr. President, the measure of a healthcare system is not found solely in its equipment, facilities, or balance sheets. It is found in how it treats the weakest among us. Huwag puro kita ang atupagin, habag din po ang pairalin. Maraming salamat, Ginoong Pangulo.
Maraming salamat, Mr. President.
Leader.
And yes, Mr. President, before I move for its referral, I completely agree and support the position of our distinguished colleague, Senator Erwin Tulfo. As a matter of fact, we have a pending measure right now for interpellation sponsored by our distinguished colleague, Senator Risa Ontiveros, on the anti-hospital detention bill. Hopefully that will, of course, make it difficult for hospitals to hostage the patients. And last week po, I just came from the province, ganun din po ang may gusto na po nilang ilabas na bangkay. Unfortunately, namatay na po. Hindi po pinapaklabas ang bangkay ng biktima or the person who passed away due to health reasons. And they had to seek our help to be able to guarantee na ma-release po yung, imagine, buti may access po sila sa isang senador. Paano naman kung wala silang access kay mayor, kay konsehal? Pangkaraniwang tao lang po sila.
Which is 90% of the time.
Which is 95%, Mr. President, of the land, to be honest. So kawawa talaga po sila. So I move, yes, Senator Risa Ontiveros would like to be recognized, Mr. President.
Senator Risa Ontiveros recognized.
Salamat po, Mr. President, at maraming salamat sa Majority Leader at sa good gentleman mula sa Palawan. Nakikiisa po ako sa pagbigay ng mas malawak na atensyon ng good gentleman mula sa Palawan sa plight ni Ms. Odette Ka. Natanggap ko rin po, Mr. President, ang impormasyon at ang panawagan sa ating mga kababayan na tulungan natin si Ms. Odette at nakikiisa ako sa good gentleman. Dinadagdag ko rin po ang boses ko na sana nga po mas marami pa po sa atin ay tumulong sa kanyang plight. And salamat sa mga obserbasyon ng good gentleman at sa tama po yung sinabi ni the good majority leader, Mr. President, nasa second reading na nga po at for period of interpellation sa susunod na linggo yung anti-hospital detention bill. Bukod po doon, Mr. President, mayroong Universal Healthcare Medical Assistance Program bill para suportahan yung health financing at i-reduce yung out-of-pocket expenses. So itutuloy po natin bilang pagpapatuloy ng trabaho ng Committee on Health at bilang tugon din sa mga particular na issues na ni-raise ng good gentleman mula sa Palawan. Salamat po, Mr. President.
Majority Leader.
Mr. President, with that, I move to refer this privileged speech of the good gentleman from Palawan, the Republic of the Philippines, to the Committee on Health and Demography, Mr. President.
Hearing no objection, the speech is referred to the Committee on Health.
And just for the record, the bill pending now under our agenda is Senate Bill number 1511 under Committee Report number 15, an act strengthening the protection of patients against hospital detention or grounds of non-payment of hospital bills or medical expenses. So we will take that up as soon as possible, Mr. President, once all the sponsors and interpellators will be ready. Mr. President, with that, moving to other matters, I move that we take up and consider proposed Senate Resolution number 327, taking consideration proposed Senate Resolution number 328, Mr. President. This is the resolution honoring the President of the Republic of Korea. I believe he's...
Any objection?
Thank you.
Hearing none, consideration of PS Resolution 327 is in order.
Yes, I believe he's going to visit the Philippines very soon, Mr. President. May we recognize... Oh, he's already here. Oh. Welcome to the Philippines, to the good president. Mr. President, may we recognize the sponsor, Senator Erwin Tulfo, to sponsor the measure.
Senator Erwin Tulfo is recognized to sponsor the measure.
Thank you, Mr. President. My dear colleagues, the relationship between the Republic of the Philippines and the Republic of Korea is not merely a product of geographical proximity or economic convenience. It is a bond forged by shared history and mutual sacrifice. Over 7 decades ago, when the clouds of war darkened the Korean peninsula, thousands of brave Filipino soldiers under the Philippine Expeditionary Forces to Korea, or PEFTOK, stood shoulder to shoulder with their Korean brothers and sisters, shedding blood to defend democracy and peace. That seminal moment laid the foundation of an unbreakable friendship. Today, we witness the beautiful blossoms of that historical solidarity. In 2025, the Republic of Korea remains as one of our top trading partners and leading contributor to foreign direct investment, with most inflows directed to the manufacturing industry. The free trade agreement between South Korea and the Philippines has also resulted to a total of more than $13 billion. Moreover, President Lee Jae-myung has championed a transformative elevation of the ASEAN-ROK Comprehensive Strategic Partnership, focusing on a future-ready alliance that integrates digital innovation, enhanced people-to-people connectivity, and robust economic growth. Central to this is this groundbreaking exchange, normalization, and denuclearization initiative introduced at the 2025 United Nations General Assembly. The cultural bridge between us has never been stronger, characterized by Filipinos' deep appreciation for K-pop and K-drama, matched by Korea's enduring affection for Philippine hospitality and natural beauty. Mr. President, may we live by the lyrics of the world-renowned Grammy and Golden Globe-winning anthem from the film K-pop Demon Hunters. Quote, "We're going up, it's our moment, together we're glowing, gonna be golden," unquote. It is against this backdrop of vibrant partnership that we welcome His Excellency Lee Jae-myung, President of the Republic of Korea, to our shores. His state visit is a powerful testament to the enduring strength of our bilateral relations and a clear signal of our shared commitment to a peaceful and prosperous Indo-Pacific region. We look forward to exploring new horizons of cooperation, from renewable energy and digital transformation to defense and maritime security. Therefore, Mr. President, it is only fitting that the Senate of the Philippines extends its warmest welcome and highest honors to His Excellency Lee Jae-myung. I urge my esteemed colleagues to support the swift adoption of proposed Senate Resolution number 327. Thank you, Mr. President.
Majority Leader.
Thank you, Mr. President. Oh, wait, Senator. May we recognize the President of the Korea-Philippine Friendship Association in Parliament. Philippines-Korea Friendship Association in Parliament. He himself looking like a Korean, Mr. President, K-pop star, no other than Senator Sherwin Gatchalian.
The President is recognized.
Yan ka na naman, Majority Leader. Thank you, Majority Leader. Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, as the President of the Senate Philippine Republic of Korea Parliamentary Association, I am privileged to co-sponsor proposed Senate Resolution number 327 honoring His Excellency President Lee Jae-myung of the Republic of Korea on the occasion of his state visit to the Philippines and expressing the sense of the Senate in reaffirming the unwavering and steadfast friendship between the Republic of the Philippines and the Republic of Korea. This resolution places on record the Senate's recognition of a relationship that has grown over nearly 8 decades, from the establishment of formal diplomatic relations between countries on March 3, 1949, to shared courage and sacrifice during the Korean War, and now to a modern strategic partnership for the development of crucial sectors within our respective economies and societies. The Philippines was the first Southeast Asian nation to recognize the Republic of Korea. This act of trust was the seed of a friendship anchored on respect and a shared commitment to democratic values, institutions, and regional stability. Our history as brothers in arms further cemented this bond. More than 7,000 Filipinos fought during the Korean War in defense of the Republic of Korea and its people. The Korean War remains both a pivotal moment in our histories and an enduring reference point in our bilateral ties. In the decades that followed, this solidarity has matured into comprehensive, future-oriented collaboration. On October 7, 2024, diplomatic relations between both our nations were elevated through the joint declaration of a strategic partnership. It identifies numerous sectors for deeper engagement and cooperation, such as defense and security, trade and investment, climate change and energy, as well as tourism. The Philippines-Korea Free Trade Agreement is a key advancement of our economic ties. It integrates our industries more closely, strengthens market access for both Philippine and Korean products, and creates a framework for long-term commercial cooperation. Preferential tariff concessions under the ASEAN-Korea Free Trade Agreement and the Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership have contributed to bilateral trade surpassing 13 billion in 2025. This translates to concrete opportunities for Philippine enterprises and workers. As of December 2024, the Republic of Korea ranks 5th among development partners with $1.3 billion in active loans and grants. We are grateful for Korea's continued development cooperation and for its humanitarian assistance following typhoons Tino and Uwan, which hit the Philippines last year. Equally important, Mr. President, is the deepening of personal engagement between Filipinos and Koreans. Sustained tourism and cultural cooperations in creative areas like film underscore this relationship extends beyond halls of government into the lives of citizens, communities, and families. Korea is now our largest source of visitors, more than 1.13 million Korean tourist arrivals from January to November of 2025. Korean communities in the Philippines number around 85,000 as of December 2025, while more than 7,000 Filipinos reside and work in Korea. Our cooperation also continues to deepen in the areas of defense and maritime security with shared strategic interest and coordination between our navies and coast guards. We are also grateful for Korea's strong support of the Philippines ASEAN chairmanship this year. These developments over the decades have not only drawn our cultures closer, but have also given substance to the fruits of diplomacy. Along with significant developments in trade and defense, the Philippines and Korea also share strong interparliamentary ties. The Philippines-Korea Parliamentary Friendship Association is one of the most active in the 20th Congress, with 16 senators as members and with this representation as president. In January of this year, I, together with Senate President Vicente Soto III and Senate President Pro Tempore Panfilo Lacson, had the honor of hosting a delegation from the Korean National Assembly, headed by my counterpart Kim Song-won, President of the ROK Philippines Parliamentary Friendship Group. He was joined by his Vice President Park Min-kyu. As discussions continued into lunch, we were joined by Senators Juan Miguel Zubiri, Senators Erwin Tulfo, Senators Risa Ontiveros, and Senator Javier Cito. These dialogues underscore the shared values and mutual respect that continue to define our relations to this day. We look forward to many more decades of sustained engagement, cooperation, and partnership across political, security, economic, developmental, and socio-cultural spheres. President Lee, your first state visit comes at a time when both our countries are working hard to sustain growth and stability domestically and throughout Asia. Your presence is both a testament to the long history of friendship between our nations and a reaffirmation of our commitment to a shared vision of progress, prosperity, and lasting peace. I therefore urge this August Chamber to adopt this proposed resolution without delay. Gamsahamnida to His Excellency and his delegation for your visit. Maraming salamat at mabuhay tayong lahat. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you.
Thank you very
I
much,
understand
Mr.
that you were invited to join them in the IPU for the election of the new president of IPU.
Yes, Mr. President. And when they visited here, when the members of the National Assembly visited here and paid courtesy to you,
That's in the Middle East.
that's in Turkey, Mr. President, in Istanbul.
Yeah, do you plan to go there